there's this roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah.
And because you are living with this person and knowing this person, and you see them struggling and you want to help,
Yeah.
but they don't want you to help them.
You're listening to Inside Young Minds, the podcast exploring the thoughts, fears, and hopes of today's youth. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome again to Inside Young Minds, a podcast where we explore the thoughts, fears, and hopes of today's youth. Today, we're talking about an interesting topic. We're talking about loneliness in a connected world. And now, it's a bit strange because the world, this generation that we're in, we're more connected than ever. Mostly social media, and the reason it's strange is because we know that we're connected, but then again, having social media, having friends online doesn't always mean that you're connected truly, So today with my guest, who I will be introducing in just a little bit, we're going to get in this topic and talk about it, see the differences, whether it's been the same for a while or whether this generation is the one that's pretty much messed up. So I'm with one of my good people that I know, and so I'll let her introduce herself. Please tell the audience your name and whatever else you'd like us to know.
Okay. My name is Leslie, and I'm not one of the young ones. I'm 63 years old. I have young ones of my own who are addicted to social media. I have worked in education. Mm-hmm. I worked with children that have disabilities. I worked with 3 to 5 year olds. Mm-hmm. I worked with kindergarten through 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then I worked with children that were medically fragile, usually confined to a wheelchair, and a lot of them were nonverbal.
Right.
And my oldest son is actually, he has autism. He's high functioning.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to move out of the house.
He doesn't?
He does not want to move out of the house because, life is easy.
Right.
For him.
It's easy because he's got you.
Yeah, so, he's got me, and he's got his dad, so.
Yeah. You got a whole family with him. I wouldn't want to move out either. So, But yeah, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so usually, and I say this because usually I bring here people way, way younger because I want to hear what they think and their perspectives. But today we're going to hear a whole different perspective, right? We're going to hear from younger, older, whatever perspective is going to help someone out there, right? So, and loneliness is there. It's real. And a lot of people go through it. And most of us have been through it, whether now or before, or whether we realized it or not. And it's a big thing that people struggle with, and most people don't open up about it because some are ashamed to do so, and others just simply don't know how to.
Right.
Right. So the first question I have for you today is like loneliness. When you hear lonely, like what comes to your mind? What is it, the one thing that you think about when you hear loneliness?
Isolation.
Isolation.
Yeah.
So.
Because when you're isolated or when you're lonely, it's like you don't feel like you have anybody that you can talk to. Right. that could make a difference and help you climb out of that loneliness.
Yeah, because I think it's usually like you isolate yourself, be alone. You don't want to engage with anyone, or you don't have anybody to engage with.
except
And
on it,
on the internet. On the internet.
And that is just, there's not, so many people will write things on the internet
Yeah.
and it's all misinterpreted. And because of that, they feel isolated and they don't know how to fix that feeling.
Yeah. So, you obviously being older than us in this generation, do you feel like loneliness now? Do you feel like there's a difference between loneliness back then to now, or do you feel like it's all the same?
I mean, I experienced loneliness when I was a kid because I did not fit in with the norms that made everybody want to talk to you because I was very shy. I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, and people were mean to me. So I didn't feel like, I mean, I had a few friends that I could talk to,
Yeah.
but they weren't always available. And both of my parents worked, so I didn't always have someone to talk to at home. And my brothers were brats. I mean, they loved me and everything, but, you know,
They're brothers.
they were younger. They were brats.
And they're brothers. So,
Yeah.
And brothers are always going to give you a hard time, honestly. I'm a brother. I know I give my sister a hard time. But I still love her. She knows I love her.
Yeah.
And they love you. It's just that
Oh, yeah.
you're the first thing they think about when they want to get in trouble. Because you're the first person they think about. But, yeah, me, I do think that this generation maybe is a bit different because, like,
It's
so
another
much-
level.
Yeah, so much social media, so much surface level connection. You know, it's a bit shallow. you
Very.
know, because people now might feel like they're connected, but it's only on social media, and those people you're constantly in connection with, you don't know. You know, no one is gonna be there for you when you need them and all that. So and I feel like back then, because right, I'm not that old,
No.
but like I didn't grow up with so much social media. When I was younger, there weren't that much social media, right? So I feel like loneliness is getting worse now, even though it looks like there's so much connection right now. Looks like the connection level is high right now, but it's really not. It's just social media.
It's very superficial.
Yeah, it's very superficial. Yeah, because you would think someone having thousands of followers is happy, right? but then not really.
No.
Yeah.
And you want to know something? It's not just young people that are affected by it.
Yeah.
Older people are as well.
Older people are lonely as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when they rely on social media for their friendships. Because, like you just said, it's very superficial and there's not a lot of depth.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see, so social media, right? In your opinion, because now there's so much social media, but do you feel like technology has actually made it easy for people to connect, right? Very easy for people to connect, but harder to connect deeply on a deeper level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Like, do you think, so on this connection level, right? There's social media, and then there's like meeting people and then have a conversation with them and all that. Because younger people now don't even know how to do that.
I know, and it's so sad. I mean, because I have to make rules for people that I'm with, and it's like, if you want to do things with me, you have to keep your phone in your pocket unless it rings and there's an emergency.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm giving you my time, and I want to be able to really have a deep conversation. But it's difficult when you're always looking at your phone.
Yeah, well, for this generation in particular, for younger people, I don't think most of us know the importance of the deep connection that you need to have with people. You know,
I
like
agree.
sit down, talk, have a meal together without looking at the phone.
Uh-huh.
Because I think most places you would go, even when you go to restaurants, you'll be sitting and then you see like a family came to have dinner, but everyone is in their phones.
I know.
Right? There's no conversation happening, and the table has like 6 people sitting down. You know, so it's become very difficult because of these devices and everything. So technology is definitely made it easier for people to kind of like get in touch,
Right.
but the connection, I don't see it personally. I don't see the connection there.
No. And I think that's why it's so important that you do meet outside of
Yeah.
social media. I mean, I have traveled across the country to meet someone that I met
Oh.
on Instagram.
Wow.
But before that, back in the late 90s, we were still connecting over the internet, but through emails. And there was a lot of problems with misinterpreting what someone wrote
Yeah.
because you didn't know them that well.
Right.
So one year I traveled across, it was over by Chicago. And I
Just to meet someone.
yeah, to meet someone. And I spent 4 days with that person,
Yeah.
and we developed a deep bond.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see that happening now because I think people just exchange whatever they want to exchange online, and then hopefully and they hope that someday they'll meet. But you're not really there to console someone if they need like the consolation and everything. So why do you think it's hard for younger people, adults, and even older people to admit that they're lonely? Because I think a lot of people, it's hard for them to agree that they're lonely, even though they are. Even though it's hard for some to understand that they are. So why do you think that is?
Well, especially for the younger generation,
Yeah.
they have never experienced the deep relationships, even with their own family, because their own family is constantly on their devices, whether it's a phone or the computer or a switch.
Yeah.
They're just glued to those devices, and they're not really connecting with any human on a deep level because the people feel that okay, I've got 10,000 viewers, I have 10,000 people who have subscribed to my channel,
Right.
and so I should be happy, but they don't understand that they're not,
Yeah.
because they've never had to put the pieces together to see the full picture. And so I feel and it's not just the younger people. I mean, some of the people that I used to work with when I was in education, they were using dating sites to find people,
Yeah.
and they went through a ton of people before they found somebody that they clicked with, and that can be very demoralizing because you go on a date and you think, oh, I really like this person, and then they never call you back because they didn't like you.
They ghost you. They call it ghosting now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just connection to me is physical.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the same place, and if you wanted to, you could touch that person.
Yeah.
And feel the warmth in their body, and just hold hands with them and help them through a difficult time. And I think that connection is what is missing in this generation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And one of the reasons why I want to bring older people on the podcast, obviously, is because of the wisdom. You guys have so much that we don't know that we need to learn and hear from you guys. And one thing you say, like, connection is truly felt when you're with the person because you get to touch them. You get to console them when they're going through something. They're having to like text them. Listen, is texting. Sure, I feel like yes, you checked up on me, but it's not the same as if we're in person,
Truth.
right? So I feel this is important because I want the younger people to understand that not everything is through social media. And when you learn to connect with people in person on a deeper level, it's better for you. It makes you a better communicator. It makes you stand out rather than how you would be if you was just through social media. So thank you very much for sharing that. And so, I mean, another question I wanted to ask, right? Because connection, and you said that it's harder for younger people to open up, because we did talk about young people opening up, but not feeling like they even know how to, you know? So for someone who's struggling to open up, they're feeling lonely, they're feeling like they're by themselves and they need help, even though they do have that connection online, right? What's your advice to them? What can you tell them to kind of like open themselves up and be open-minded to, in order for them to meet people in person and be able to connect with them deeply?
I think that the younger generation is so focused on their generation that they don't consider the older generations as someone who they could get wisdom from. And because of that, they tend to kind of put themselves in a cocoon with the other people in their generation.
Yeah.
And so much can be learned that, okay, for example, my mother was in a nursing home. And every week, my son, he would go and visit her twice a week and actually talk with her and play games with her and do things. And she would tell him about her childhood and growing up with and raising me and my brothers and that kind of stuff. And they created a really deep bond.
Right.
And I think that if more people from the younger generation, I don't know what you guys call yourself even, but
there's so many names for it.
I know, right? But if they would just take time once a week to go to a nursing home or to go and volunteer in a school where they can make physical connections, you know, in real in-person connections, and learn how to listen and how to talk to these people, I think that they would find that they're less lonely.
So, like going in nursing homes, if you don't have a family member there, would they like let you speak to someone?
Yeah, because all you have to do is call up one of those nursing homes and say, I would like to volunteer. I would like to help enrich the lives of the people who live in your nursing home.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you can call them and then ask to volunteer and be like that, and then they'll let you go in. So a bit of a personal question. Like, well, it's not really personal, but I feel like you have to touch a bit back. So let's say back when you're like our age, like my age.
Okay.
Let's say you were in your early 20s or early teens. Yeah. Was it easier or harder for people to open up? Or was it just as hard as it is now?
I think it depended on how your parents raised you. Because when I was growing up, my mom was a stay-at-home mom,
Okay.
and my dad was a workaholic. We didn't see dad a lot.
He worked and worked and worked.
He worked and worked and worked. I mean, he would put in 12 to 14-hour days. He had his own business, and he struggled with it.
Yeah.
But my mother was always there. We didn't always get along.
No?
No, because I was very strong-willed.
Oh, okay.
And I was very bossy to my brothers. If you met them, you could ask them, and they would just laugh. My mother, growing up, though, she was undiagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And it kind of led to why I was bossy to my brothers, because some days she wouldn't even get out of bed. So, it was up to me to make sure that my brothers got fed and brushed their teeth and got to school and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I was bossy. But then on the days that Mom was there, and the days that she wouldn't get out of bed, they would go for about a week, and then she would be fine for months. But she had severe depression. And so I learned how to communicate with her, and it gave me skills that I still use till now.
Yeah.
Because, when someone doesn't want to talk, but you need to get them to talk because you need to find out what's going on with them, you have to kind of walk on tiptoes around that subject.
Yeah.
But eventually I could get her to communicate with me. And so that's a skill that some kids don't ever learn.
No, that's a skill that almost this whole generation doesn't have. Because I feel like when we want to communicate with someone and they shut us out for a little bit, we're done. We're not coming again. We're not going to try to communicate more. So, I mean, that skill is also important, because someone could be going through a lot and at first glance, they don't want to open up. Right?
Exactly.
But as you keep on talking to them, trying to get to them, they end up opening, and now you have a way to help them. So that's a skill that's very important, and I feel we don't really have that. I've been learning. I'm trying. I'm trying to acquire that skill, because I think it can be very beneficial to me.
I agree.
So I've been trying to learn, and so yeah. But thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Yeah. So what do you think in terms of like opening up and everything? Because I want everyone listening to be able to feel like they're seen. Feel like they're understood and seen. So what do you think makes someone feel seen or understood?
I believe that when you feel seen, whoever you're being seen by has actually paid attention to what you were saying.
Yeah.
And communicated their understanding of what you said. It's that's a hard question. I think deep down inside, everyone wants to be seen.
Right.
But they do not always know how to communicate that need. And not everybody understands the process of actually seeing someone.
Right. And I think there are different ways that everyone wants to be seen. It's not all the same. Right?
Exactly.
So
each and every one of us is different. We have different experiences in our past that affect how we want to be seen in the present.
Right. And sometimes it's more of like, letting them talk, and then you just listen, and that could make them feel important because you can make them feel like you're actually listening to them
Exactly.
rather than just talking over them and everything. So depending on how everyone feels or the experiences they have been through, how they want to be seen and understood is going to be different
For
to
everyone.
everyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean,
It takes practice.
a
the
lot of
the whole
practice.
the whole listening skill takes practice. And if I mean, sometimes my son will be talking to me and telling me about whatever manga he's reading, and my eyes glaze over. But I try to listen and understand what he's trying to say to me because he's a valuable person in my life.
Yeah.
And I think people need to develop value for the people in their lives first and learn how to see them and how to relate with them, so that even though I might not like One Piece or whatever Adam is talking about, I still try to listen because it means something to him.
Yeah.
And then I can apply what I've learned from what he's talking about and apply it to his life and understand him a little bit better. Because a lot of people that are on the autism spectrum, they don't know how to connect,
Yeah.
but
They're very smart.
they're very smart.
Yeah. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. And like my son, he has a photographic memory too.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to keep up with that. But it's not always easy.
No, it's not. Like you said, it's a skill. It's a skill, and it takes a lot to learn that skill and have it in you. But so let's say for someone in their 20s or their teens who feels like they're invisible at the moment or feel like they're disconnected, what advice would you give them?
I think what I would do is I would say, if you want to connect with people, you have to take the first step.
Yeah.
And you have to be brave, because some people are not going to be open to connecting with you.
Yeah.
But don't give up, because if you give up, you're always going to be on your own. But if you continue to reach out to people, and yeah, you might get your feelings hurt and you might feel sad, but you can learn something from that experience and apply that to the next person that you try to meet.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah, in person.
In person.
Yeah, that's true. What you just said is true. Communication. Most of the time, you're gonna have to take the first step. Something I struggle with a lot. I would admit that. So I feel like, and it's also a very, very difficult skill to learn. You have to be very brave. More like you almost have to not care what people are gonna say or their response, but then in a way you have to be open-minded as well.
Exactly.
So if you feel lonely out there and you feel like you're very disconnected and you would like to connect, learn how to maybe have a group of people you hang out with, get used to talking and conversing with other people, and then maybe you're learning in the process. But also, one thing I've realized is that connection, it starts within the family.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to have a good connection with your family, because if not, you're not going to be able to have a connection outside the family.
I agree.
Yeah, you have to be able to have that strong connection, because that's where you learn everything. Because for family, even if they push you away, they have no choice but to connect with you and to communicate with you.
Right.
So that's where you have to start from.
But that leads to another problem, because not all families,
Yeah.
a lot of families are broken.
Right.
And so you need to find other ways to create a family. A lot of people will say family isn't necessarily blood.
Mm-hmm.
Family can be, you can have your church family. You can have your school family. You can have your work family. And those are people that you're actually in connection with physically.
Yes.
And so you can develop those skills of connection, but they might not actually be your blood family.
Yeah.
So,
No, of course. And yes, a lot of broken families, I feel like it starts with them not having connection, though, having no communication. Communication is a skill that's needed by everyone who wants to have a strong family.
I agree.
Right? So if you want your family to be strong, you have to be able to communicate. It's the first thing. This is the one thing they tell you, even when you get in a relationship, your communication skills are number one.
Absolutely.
Because the minute you lose them, that's when you start to lose your connection with everyone else as well. So yes, it's important. The family doesn't always have to be the ones you were born with, right? It can be your friends that you trust and you get along with, your family members. Because the Bible also tells us that your church is your family.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
It's the best family in the world.
It's the family. So now we did talk about people being lonely. Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. Like back then for you, like what helped you when you felt lonely?
Talking to my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, because the high school that I went to was in a farming community. We moved to that place, and I went from a class of over 500 to a class of 25.
Wow.
And there were 3 of us that were the townies.
Yeah.
We lived in the little tiny community, and we became friends because all of the farmer kids thought we were below them. And all the farmer kids grew up with each other, you know, from kindergarten. And so they knew each other, and so it was difficult to come into that kind of a community where you were kind of almost an outcast.
You are an outsider. They don't really.
Yeah.
They don't really see you as one of them.
Yes. Yeah. But I learned that if the townies came together, you know, we could build those relationships and trust each other, whereas some of the farmer kids couldn't be trusted. So yeah, it was all about the connection of, you know, talking and experiencing what life had for us. So, you know, we would get together and we would go for walks and just talk and listen to each other and help each other through the difficult times, the loneliness.
Yeah, well, so the thing that's so amazing and all that, right? This generation, the one thing I know younger people are gonna agree with is this time around, your best friend has another best friend, and they have another best friend. You know, so when you open up to your best friend, they tell their best friend, and their best friend tells their best friend, and now
the whole school knows.
Everybody knows what you're going through. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why people don't want to open up.
Oh, I agree, because who knows who's going to hear about it.
Yeah. And sometimes you just want to tell someone because you trust them and you feel like you can have a deeper connection and understanding with them to a point where they can make you feel better, right? But when you do it and then they end up sending it to someone else, and then all of a sudden you hear you're the talk of the town, it makes you feel like, well, you no longer want to share anything about yourself anymore. And that's when it starts to become difficult, and then you start to become very lonely, and your trust issues obviously rise up.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would talking to someone that's older than you be helpful?
Yes, 100%. And the reason I say that is because also it's hard for younger people to actually open up to older people, because they feel like they're not the same age, right? Although they may understand them more, they may understand what they're saying, but they don't feel like they'll connect with them to a level of where someone who's their same age would understand them, if that makes sense.
Because of the social norms.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I that does make sense.
Yeah. So for me, yes, opening up to someone older makes me feel relieved, because I know that most of them are respectful enough to keep that information you're giving them, unless if you're trying to harm yourself, of course.
Right.
Yeah, but I feel like, because when you tell people your age, they might even shame you and say this and this. But an older person might be able to understand you, right? And
Because
also,
we've been through it.
yeah, and also understand that they shouldn't just throw your information out there just like that.
Exactly.
So yes, it would be very helpful. And I feel the younger people need to communicate with older people more. As I was saying, yeah, I do feel like it would be better for younger people to open up to older people, just because of the reasons I was talking about, and just because older people are mature enough to know not to just share the information.
Exactly.
Although there are those who might still do it, but it's not as many as younger people. So of course I do think that that's very important. So another question that I wanted to ask, right? So loneliness, yeah. Do you feel like it's something that you can outgrow, or do you think it just shows up at just different stages of life?
I think it shows up at different stages of life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially for married people.
Yeah.
There's this roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah.
And because you are living with this person and knowing this person, and you see them struggling and you want to help,
Yeah.
but they don't want you to help them.
Right.
So they go to other people to get that help. So that makes you feel bad because you couldn't help them. And then everybody's sad.
You're talking about like two people married and one going to look for advice somewhere else. Yeah. I don't think that's a good thing. It's really not.
It depends on where they're going for the advice. If
Right.
they're going to, say, their pastor, I think that's okay.
Right.
But they need to talk to their pastor and find out, how do I reconnect with my spouse?
Yeah.
And you can go to counseling too. But the problem is, life isn't guaranteed to be easy.
No.
I mean, it says in the Bible.
Marriage especially is not
Yes.
gonna be easy.
Yeah, and because you're living this with this person for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
At least you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And everybody has things that affect them differently, and you try and help your spouse or your child, and they don't want the help. And so they go somewhere else and they get bad advice.
Yeah.
And that just compounds their sadness. And so that's why deep connections are so important, because then you feel like you can go to your spouse or you can go to your parent or your child and just lay it out there and say, what do I do?
Yeah, and also the young kids, when they grow up in a family that has communication and connection, that's when they learn to open up to their parents as well, to their family members. Because if your child grows up with disconnection and miscommunication in the family, I bet you they're not going to come to you for an advice.
No.
Why would they if they've never seen you communicate with your family? So yes, it's important that the family also have that communication, especially for spouses, because you don't want to hear that your partner went to look for advice somewhere just because you couldn't advise them, or because they didn't feel like you could give them a good enough advice.
Or they were so mad at you for something that you did that they didn't want to talk to you at all.
Exactly. So, and yeah, a lot of people who are also maybe getting married now of this in this generation don't really understand this, and I feel like that's why they struggle so much in marriages. And this is a topic that I want to talk about later on, not in this topic. So I'm just gonna let that one slide for now.
Okay.
But this is a topic that I want to explore because I have seen so many younger people struggle in their marriages because of this particular reason. So yeah, I'll get to that in another episode. But yeah, for now, we're closing, right? And I just want you to lay your wisdom on all of us. You understand? So it's hard for us young people to communicate. It's easier for us to be connected on social media, for sure. And although we might not admit it, we know that social media, we don't really get much out of it.
No.
All it does is drain us, right? And although we don't ask for the advice, if we had a way to kind of have a better life, even if it didn't involve social media, I feel like most of us would want that. Right? So I want us to lay your wisdom on us. Give us an advice for people who are disconnected, for people who are going through a rough patch, young people. What can we do?
I would say that you need to make those connections in real life. And if that means you have to, I'm not saying turn off all social media,
No.
but sometimes take a break from it.
Yeah.
Turn it off for a week. And then go find somebody to talk to in real life. Go make a new friend. Go volunteer to help people. It's just important that the in-person development of friendships needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because that way you know that that person is there for you. Because you've seen it in their eyes. You've heard it in their voice.
Yeah.
They listen to you. And it's not just some 10 words that they posted on the internet that really don't make a whole lot of difference in your life.
Yeah.
Because that in-person contact can make or break you. And you have to be willing to be broken in order to make yourself a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we need to make those communications, make those
Connections.
connections.
And spend time on them so that they go deep, like roots on a plant. Build those roots up.
Yeah, so yeah, I feel for everyone listening, obviously, that's a great advice. Thank you very much for it. And for everyone listening, please don't feel like, when you feel lonely, don't feel like it's the end of the world. It's really not. All you have to do is go look for that connection. Now, I'm not saying shut down everyone who you have on social media,
No.
but try and go make that in-person connection. Like she said, go volunteer. That's something I want to try out, actually. Go volunteer, hang out with your friends, try to meet new people, strangers. Say a challenge I want to give to everyone. Say hello to a stranger you meet every now and then. If you meet 5 strangers and say hello, you know, hey, someone might say hello back, right? And even if they don't, you're trying. You've taken a step forward.
Absolutely.
Go volunteer. Go hang out with your friends. Have a group of friends who you can hang out with and share your ideas with each other. Have a conversation. Advise each other. We're all young, but we're not stupid. We have something to share with each other.
Exactly.
So, and if you feel lonely and you feel you need help, hey, I'm here for you, okay? Just send me a text. We'll talk on the phone. No, we'll do whatever. But that in-person connection is very important. Social media is very superficial. Everyone you meet there is not as they seem. Never make the mistake to actually think that.
Oh,
Yeah. So, as we come to a close, thank you so much again for being here.
Of course.
And thank you for your wisdom. And for everyone listening, I do hope this helped you out. If you learned something and you feel this was important and you connected to it, share it with someone. Share it with someone who can listen to it and learn a thing or two. I learned something. Well, I was expecting to learn something, but I learned something. So I'm grateful for that. And for everyone listening, we'll see you in the next episode. But as always, keep on growing. Bye-bye.
bye.
Thank you for watching or listening to Inside Young Minds. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow and share it with someone else who might need it. You can also find us on Instagram at inside_young minds for updates and behind the scenes. Now, there's new episodes every week. But until next time, take care of yourself and keep on growing.